Good day. Welcome to TFT Tarot for today. And this is me, Oberon, with Goth Tarot. It's my weekly look into the shadow issues. And for the month of October, I'm going to play around with different spooky formats of one sort or the other. I'm also offering an additional occasional random oracle based on one of the vampire themed decks that I may choose to use. So for example, yesterday was a bonus Toothy Tuesday, and I used the Gothic Tarot of the Vampires for that oracle reading. So what's different today will be I'm going to use the Gothic Tarot. It's one of my first ones, and it is, without proclaiming it as a vampire themed tarot, it is pretty much vampires. There's some other creatures of the night in here. But I'm going to be doing a suggested reading from the booklet, and it's the actual version of the Mystic Seven, which I've used here before, the interlaced triangles, the card in the middle, and that's a pretty old and standard reading. And a part of my reason for doing it is because recently, in recent times, there's been a person or two who said nobody does that anymore readings. They just do 3 cards and read. Well, that does seem to be pretty standard these days too. But Banshee and I both like to use the various spreads that are out there and do use them. And of course, Banshee has come up with quite a few of her own, and we will always customize them too. For a particular reading, you should go to our shop section at our website, tfttarotfortoday.com. Now, so I will be, during the random cards, using a number of these vampire themed decks, and I'm briefly going to show them here for you guys. I'm going to use the Vampires Tarot, keep that in a nice silk bag. The one I used yesterday, the Gothic Tarot of Vampires, and of course the rather new Tarot of the Vampires. And then from a year or so ago, by that same writer, Tarot V. And then finally, Vlad Dracula Tarot. So let's get with the program then. And like I said, we're doing the Gothic Tarot for this reading, which will follow the idea of the Mystic Seven pattern. So the first position is the past. It's the Nine of Wands. It's upright. There's a bigger view of it. Okay, so the Nine of Wands says that in the past, you really had to stand out there and walk your talk. I don't know if this is, anything in particular. This is a collective reading, but for those of us here, we realize that sometimes in the past we have had to stand with courage. And so you did that, we did that, and in such doing, hopefully we set a good standard for others. Okay, so the next card is the Present. It's the upright Five of Swords. It's the present. Right now, there's a lot of further entanglement and embattlement, and you feel that there's a lot of forces that are working against you, and it is kind of like either a fight or flight response that may be happening. it's kind of interesting because there is also, of course, what I often feel with the Five of Swords, one way or the other, is that you do realize that you can't necessarily win anything here, and that all this really accomplishes is too much strife that you don't want to handle right now. So then card 3 is the future. And it's the Seven of Pentacles. And the Seven of Pentacles says that this situation is going to maybe persist in a way because you still haven't found exactly what you need, or you're still not willing to put some energy here and move this forward. That if there are plans going on to pull you through this current situation, you just haven't figured them out yet, or you're not willing to play them yet. And you may be waiting for another time, but this time may not happen, if I have to be frank here. So then the next card, according to this reading here, the card of the 4th card, starting the next pyramid. I don't really have enough room there, do I? It's called the Advised Path. What we should do to gain more control over the current situation. So this is advice for the future. And it's the reversed King of Wands. Well, that's going to be rough a little bit. But the reverse King of Wands, what we should do, what we're advised to do, is maybe try to fly a little under the radar. That maybe part of the reason happened here, and you think of that first card with standing forth tall, maybe this particular situation earned us more attention than we needed, and now we're on somebody's radar, seen as overly strong and admired and confident and brave. And maybe our energy right now is to maybe take cool off period. Like maybe this is saying fly under the radar. Maybe more secrecy needs to happen here in terms of the situation, that you don't want to call attention to what your actions may be. And hopefully, it is something getting beyond what the Seven of Pentacles says, which says you're not really ready, maybe for an action. So then our 5th card is the influences, the current environment, and how it might affect the outcome. And it's another court card from the Pentacles. Well, it's another court card. It's the Knight of Pentacles. It's reversed, though. So again, there's just kind of this take slow approach here. This sort of like maybe just really not do anything. Maybe there's a sense of avoidance, or there's a sense of something else that says you don't want to do anything at all, or that it's pushing you towards that sense of inertia of some sort, that you can't really put any energy to this. And in a way, that's kind of what was suggested by the card below that, the Seven of Pentacles. This is more of an extreme version of that. And this is that environment around you. So what it really feels like is other people, other situations. I mentioned that that king there, but also that Seven of Pentacles, I think, indicates that something is kind of impressing upon you the need to not move forward with this for some reason. And it's kind of interesting because maybe there feels like a threat to you in a way if you move further on this. Something that's going to just affect you in some way. I know I'm being vague there, but retaliations or punishments or a social snubbing, something like that, I guess is what I'm feeling. So then finally, to complete our pyramid, our second pyramid, the sixth card is the obstacles, that which inhibits you. Holy moly, it's the Eight of Swords and it's upright. And a large part of this is maybe even though you said you were like kind of modeling ferocious behavior here, the other things are saying that maybe you already have decided you can't win, or you're letting yourself sort of have this illusion that you're not able to make the difference here. And so that's what the obstacle is your own sense of maybe giving up here, that you're letting yourself be curtailed by others. And I kind of said that in those other cards. Too many influences from the outside that maybe are affecting you in this matter. So then, what is that final outcome? The card, the Mystic Seventh card. Already it just doesn't seem like it's going to be good, does it? Could that have been what it was? That this is about a relationship? Because I have the reversed Two of Cups. And a lot of times that card can indicate a relationship that falls apart or that has severe troubles. So if it's not that, it could be about whatever agreements or situations that are binding people as partners, reluctantly or otherwise, together in this. And, if I look at it over again, I feel that, the past of the situation was you were the one who really had to show leadership and show strength. But in the present, it's maybe worked against you in some way, that maybe somebody's trying to take over that position of leadership, or trying to underplay your role in leadership. And so what that projects for the future is that maybe you just want to put things on hold and you don't want to really deal with that situation. You want to sort of let it stay there in stasis of a sort. But your advised path really is that too as well. I see that here. So maybe there's just a differential in how that is. You have to maybe at least acknowledge in the advised path that you are, sort of backing down in a sense for this, or you're wishing to share power, if that's what it could be too. And then the influences, of course, the fifth card is, of course, other people are telling you maybe to even put it in reverse, that maybe they want you to back up, or they really want you to be inert. They don't want slow progress, they want no progress. So the real obstacles are maybe you are giving into that perception that you should just really totally detain yourself here. The result will be this, that you will probably have to just really change the nature of the partnership or the harmony or trust within that. And so that could be the outcome too, that you really have to go this alone in a way, if this is a project or if this is a relationship or an intrapersonal relationship. You may have to go this alone. So that's what I got for Gothic Tarot. And don't forget to watch our live show tomorrow night from 7 to 9 p.m. And also, my show, The Emotional Exchanges, is on Friday morning at 7 a.m. And on Saturday, it's our happy hour. And happy hour will be at 10 a.m. And that's a live show with just an emphasis on one card with a positive message for each person. Then on Sunday, it's Banshee's recorded show, The Material Matters. We are live in the chat room for that. And we are able to have a lot of fun. So come to The Material Matters. Banshee herself would say it's always a lot of fun. I promise no singing this week. I will not sing this week on Banshee's Material Matters. You heard it here. And then later on Sunday, it's our other live stream show where we answer the regular questions we get. And that's from 2 to 4 p.m. And do remember that all times are Eastern Standard Time. You can follow us on Facebook, Threads, Instagram, Bluesky, or X for cards and oracles of the day. I think some of those are featured on YouTube as well here. And also to remember that during the month we're doing some Halloween kind of stuff. So I mentioned my vampire card pulls randomly throughout the month, but we have some other stuff too. So hopefully you'll hear about that soon in time for the Night of the Great Pumpkin. All right, everybody, have a good one, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.